Hello my beautiful amazing movie freaks. It has been a while since I uploaded a video. Been busy with COVID. I'm recently been team mom for my son's football team for this guy right here, and I've been really busy, so I'm going to be doing a review of the Cruel Summer series that's on Freeform. There are going to be spoilers, but it's going to be more towards the end. Can you hand me my mouse that's right there on the ground? It's going to be more towards the end, and I will let you know, just in case you don't want to listen to those spoilers, because I don't know why you haven't watched this yet. It is so good. But yeah, if that doesn't bother you, let's go ahead and jump in to my review of Cruel Summer. So, Cruel Summer came out this year in 2021. It is 10 episodes that are 45 minutes each. And this is kind of like, it's not like Netflix or anything like that. You have to wait each week for the episodes to come out. So that was really hard. The creator of the show is Bert V. Royal, if I'm saying that right, and it stars Sierra Aurelia, Olivia Holt, Froy Gutierrez, Harley Quinn Smith, and Blake Lee. He's gonna help. So basically what it's about is, in a small Texas town, popular teen Kate is abducted. Seemingly unrelated, a girl named Jeanette goes from being a sweet, awkward outsider to the most popular girl in town. But by 1995, she becomes the most despised person in America. So, if you get the gist of that, basically, Kate was popular, and she had everything. Jeanette, on the other hand, she wanted to be Kate, or she didn't really want to be Kate. She wanted to have things just like Kate. She wanted things to come easy, like to be beautiful, to have friends. Now, Jeanette did have friends who are Mallory and Vince. And, careful, don't go this way. Who are Mallory and Vince. And I'll share some spoilers on that later on. But ever since I saw the trailer for this, I have just been intrigued. I love the whole premise of the story. Although the trailer really didn't show too much, it showed enough for me to want to completely immerse myself into the whole series. It was very hard watching this because I had to wait each week to watch the series, and the episodes went by super fast. Like, it felt like it was only 10 minutes. So, I loved everything. I loved everything about this show. Every episode made me pretty much want more. And I was so confused, but it was a good confused. Like, I love the fact that I had to pick apart everything and I couldn't figure out the storyline, because I am one of those people that usually can watch a movie and figure out what's going on within like the first half hour of the movie. You know, kind of the direction on where it's going to go. But with this one, I was just completely lost, but in a good way. I love the whole nostalgia of the show. It takes place in the 90s. Sorry, I had to shut up my kids. Every time I want to film, they're right here. Anyways, so I love the nostalgia of this. It takes place in the 90s, like everything from like the skating rinks to the landline phones. Everything is just perfect. Like, I couldn't really find anything that was wrong with that flashback, like, you know, blast from the past. Now, just when you think that you have figured out where it's going, it takes a whole new turn, and it's just a whole guessing game. Like, the whole movie is just a guessing game, and it's a good one. Like, you'll be so intrigued by this. I mean, you won't want to stop watching it. Now that all the episodes are out, you can go and watch them back to back. You can binge watch, but that's not the case when I watched it. Now, from my perspective, you couldn't really see who was the bad guy and who was the good guy, because how it goes is one blames the other, and I'll elaborate on that when I get into the spoiler part. Now, when you are watching this, you are completely consumed by the story of this show. It is pretty much impossible to look away. I actually had to take a break from watching this, and it was the very last episode that I took a break from. And I didn't know it was the last episode, but I don't know why I waited so long. We've been sick, I've been super busy, so I haven't been able to watch it, but now that I watched it, I can get this review out for you. So, I love every character of this show except for Mallory. Mallory is played by Harley Quinn Smith, who is the daughter of, what's his name? I'm having brain cramp. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. Kevin Smith. I like Kevin Smith. I think he's a really cool guy. I wasn't a fan of her performance, not her as a person in general, but just her character. I did not like her character at all. She's super whiny, super bossy, and not in a good way. So basically this show takes place between, 1993, 1994, and 1995. I love the idea that they move between the same day for each year. So if something's happening on that day, they move. So say in 1993, say they move to that same day a year later. I love that. I think it's such a cool idea. I've never really seen it done anywhere. And they do it like in 1 year intervals, from 93, 94, 95. Some episodes are only in, like, say 94, and they show a little flashback of 93, or why certain things happen the way they do. Sorry, I'm talking with my hands a lot. And when they do switch between the years, the color of the cinematography changes. So, for example, in 1993, where, it all begins, where Jeanette is basically a loser, if you want to put it that way, and Kate is still around. The colors are like a bright, just yellow, beige tone, like just really pretty and bright. Once you switch to 94, it's like a darker bland yellow, but it's still kind of bright. And then once you get to the year 1995, where everything is just going down, it's just gray tones. Like everything looks super dark, super damp, like just sadness, basically. So they also changed the character's appearance in each year. So I'll elaborate on that later on too, so I don't spoil anything. And they do that to reduce the confusion on where you are in the timeline. The series also dives into the two main characters' lives, kind of what they were doing at the time, kind of little tidbits of what they were doing in that certain time frame, and like the whole situation. So Mallory and Vince, they are Jeanette's friends, and then Jamie, he is Kate's boyfriend at the time that she goes missing, and he ends up dating Jeanette. So that is it for everything that is not spoiler. Everything beyond this is going to be spoiler, so if you don't want to hear that, you can go ahead and stop the video now. So, in elaborating on their appearances each year, so Kate, she has really long, beautiful, flowing hair. Right before she goes on a program where she nationally bashes Jeanette. She chops off her hair to shoulder length, and she goes on this TV show, and she basically says, Jeanette Turner, you saw me and you didn't say anything. That puts her on blast. She doesn't even know what's happening. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And from that point on, it totally ruins everything that Jeanette has worked so hard to accomplish. Because Jeanette, from once Kate disappeared, Jeanette kind of took her place, but that wasn't her intention, but that's what happened. She began to date Jamie. She became friends with Kate's two friends. And she stopped being friends with Mallory and Vince, which left Mallory bitter. So, once Kate was missing, she was out of the picture. Everybody was like, we miss her and everything, but we need to move on. So, once we get to, that's 1994. So, once we get to 95, where everything's dark and gray, Jeanette has chopped off all her hair. All her hair's gone, like she's just got a little muff of hair. And Kate's got a little bit longer hair. And she's actually friends with Mallory now because they met in a group that they could talk about what's going on in their life. Mallory really irritates me because she's so mad that Jeanette has become friends with the popular crowd that she doesn't even want to be friends with her, and she blames Jeanette for this. Now, later on in the story, you'll see basically the intentions of Mallory and what she really wanted to accomplish in the end. But I actually really did like the principal in this show. Even though he was accused of what he was accused of, it's not what you think it is. So here comes the spoiler. Kate actually went there willingly. She wanted to be with him. She didn't know that it would turn out the way it turned out. So she was having problems with her family, so she ran to him. They had been talking, hey, how you doing? And the principal was like, you know what, I can get in trouble. She's like, it'll just be overnight. Overnight turned into 3 days, 4 days, and it kind of got too late for them to turn back. He couldn't let her go because he was scared that she would tell somebody. She really didn't want to go in the first place. So how this turned out is, once Kate was rescued, they said that there was a shootout and that the principal had been shot by the police. This isn't how it went down. And I couldn't believe this in the end. This is in the very last episode. So, and it comes down to where she's trying to figure out who Annabelle is. And it turns out that it was actually the principal's gun, who is actually played by Blake Lee, who I mentioned before. His name's Martin, and he actually really did fall in love with Kate. Kate fell in love with him, but I kind of feel like Kate used him as an out of her life, because Kate was like a debutante and had to please everybody, and I kind of feel like she used him. And the poor principal, he fell into her trap, and in the end, he was going to kill himself, but he couldn't. And Kate picked up the gun and shot him. And she never told anybody that. She just let everybody assume that it was the police that shot him. Kate had a lot of lies, and she blamed Jeanette throughout this whole time, knowingly. She knew that she didn't have anything to do with it. She was bitter. Okay, Kate was bitter because Jeanette took over her life. So I mean, everything about this show is just so intriguing. I love everything about it, to be honest. I think, and they kind of leave you on a cliffhanger at the end. So once you do watch the end, you'll figure it out. I'm not gonna spoil that, but hopefully they do a season 2, and we can all talk about that one together. Let me know what you guys thought about this show. Did you think it was did you think it was more confusing than I did? Because I really liked everything about it. I found it confusing, but in a good way. So if you guys watch this show, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Also comment down below what you guys thought of the show, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.